My name is Jessie MacInnis, and I'm a young farmer based in Canada. And before I begin, I just wanted to echo what the Special Rapporteur on the Right to Food said about the need to explicitly reference the HLPE report and build on it. The CSM Youth used this report to guide our interventions, and we agree that using this language is key moving forward. So this intervention that I'm about to give will focus primarily on part 1, and then my colleagues in the CSM Youth will cover points 2 to 5. So first of all, while there is some inclusive language to be found in part 1, overall it's concerning that the term human rights is not included once in this draft. Youth cannot simply be referred to as pieces of the market that can be engaged and employed. We must also have our rights respected and have agency to ensure that our futures are not being sold to market mechanisms, but rather that we are shaping our own futures by shifting our local food systems towards food sovereignty. So I'm going to pull some specific phrases from this section and elaborate upon changes that we feel should be made. First of all, the policy recommendations need to be more specific about what youth rights mean. To us, the realization of rights means the transformation towards food sovereignty. And to do so, human rights instruments must be acknowledged and implemented by member states. The UN Declaration on the Rights of Peasants and Other People Working in Rural Areas and the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples are key and relevant to a number of paragraphs in this section, because without a reckoning of how resources, land, and power can be redistributed, we have no future in the food system. Human rights instruments must be clearly identified, along with a recommendation about how these legal frameworks can contribute to promoting youth roles in the food systems in their respective states. Next, it's necessary to consider what enabling environments means, not only in abstract terms. As the HLPE report describes, the transition towards economies of well-being relies on building food sovereignty, dignified livelihoods, and healthy environments. To us, enabling environments means having access to farmland. It means ecosystems being protected and not pillaged for extractivism. It means local or territorial, democratically run food systems. Destroyed ecosystems, polluted environments, market-based false solutions prevent youth from securing dignified livelihoods in agriculture and across the food system. Therefore, we echo the Netherlands and Canada that climate crisis adaptation and mitigation must be addressed in this document. Thirdly, the Zero Draft refers to ensuring access to adequate health, hygiene, and nutrition. Again, this is a point where we must reiterate the need for stronger human rights focus, rather than framing these only in terms of access. Ensuring access posits that some external force will be providing such access. What we need is agency and autonomy in shaping the systems that affect our lives. In this case, the Declaration on the Rights of Peasants is particularly relevant, yet again, because it has important language that defines the right to basic infrastructure and livelihood needs. Finally, something that we're pleased to see in the Zero Draft is reference to the heterogeneity, intersectionality, and the context specificity of youth aspirations, needs, and priorities. We agree that the inclusion of language about intergenerational approaches and the need to address hierarchies that limit the collective and individual agency of youth is important, particularly for youth in rural and urban areas where many cultural norms and traditions may discriminate against young women, sexual and gender diversity. This is a key point to keep in this. Thank you very much.